Uh,
Yes, Aftab. So, where are you from?
I'm from Bangladesh, but I live in Dubai.
Okay, excellent, great. So, you're working in accounts?
Yes,
Brilliant, great, excellent. How's weather there?
too hot, sir. Around 52 centigrade wet, heat hot now.
52. Okay. So, here's today, luckily, it's at the moment 23.
23. It's cold almost.
Yesterday was a bit hot, it was 28, but maybe
Yes.
drop tomorrow will drop down expectation or the weather forecast is around 16 will be. So, it's suddenly
16.
huh? 6.
16. So it's cold.
Here is if after 10 is slightly up to 20 it's very pleasant weather. But after 20, like between 25 plus, it's slightly warm
Yeah, slightly hot, slightly.
because it's a cold, the country. So normally when
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
feels slightly, but not like
Sorry.
I've been last year the way I was 51, 52. I've been last,
Uh,
so that was very hot.
yes. Are you in Dubai last year?
No, I went to last year. I'm living here in Leeds and last 24 years, so just settled here with family. But
Okay.
last year I went there,
For vacation.
went to see my parents back home. So,
Mm. You are from, sir, India?
no, from Pakistan originally.
Pakistan. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Pakistan, which place, sir?
I'm from Islamabad.
Islamabad. Yeah, Pakistan in the summer season, not like.
Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our new unit. A couple of you already know me. My name is Anjum Satar. I'm working with Versity last 10 years and background ACCA, and I'm also teaching at University of Bradford and Leeds. And I'll try my best to meet your expectation. And please, if you have any question, drop me email anjum@ukeversity.co.uk. And I do side by side, the small practice we have with my friend. And yeah, so during our delivery, please, if any question, always feel free ask. Huh? So we'll start, before starting this new subject, quick, we'll go through the unit specification, what we're supposed to learn. And we are starting new unit, which is all you're aware of is we are going to start financial management. Okay. So financial management, one of the key unit, and that's really good to be. And we need a good grip on this. Huh? So please, I'll of course we deliver each learning outcome, each lesson. So maybe, well, of course, most of you working in accounts are working in management or accounts field. So feel free if any point you think further need to, and we can arrange extra one-to-one tutorial sessions, and we can go through accordingly things. Huh? So welcome. Let's we'll start then. Okay. So first we'll go through the unit specification, what we're supposed to. Okay, so this is one of important unit, and of course you're all aware of the criteria: pass, merit, and distinction if you want. Okay, so be able to apply the investment appraisal. Appraisal means the checking the performance. So appraise, we have a limited resources, unlimited wants, and we are very constrained. So one of the great scholar, Neil Robin, in his book, mentioned we have unlimited wants and limited resources, but we have to find the best alternative to be use these resources effectively to achieve our organization objective. End of the day, objective mean end result, what we want to be achieved. So we can look around, apply the appropriate investment appraisal techniques. We can look around, evaluate the and make justified the recommendation of capital investment strategies. Analyze the critically success factors which we look, and apply the capital asset pricing model. which we look and discuss, the benefit of implementation, different, investment appraisal methods, which we'll go through and evaluate, the business, and remember, and we can draw the recommendation and improvements. That will be the key, so we can will go through in just 2 minutes. Each lesson will go through one LOs, one learning outcome, and we'll try to be achieve the all these are learning outcome during each lesson, Okay, so just give me 1 minute. I'll share with you the slides, separate, and we'll go through all the required resources. Please, if you don't have access on Moodle, you can let us know what we can do. We can set up account if due to any reason, if you're not received uh, uh, the detail yet, you don't have any access at the moment still, so please feel free and we can go through accordingly. Okay, we'll start. Okay, so we have a learning outcome, and during our lesson each, we can go through one learning outcome and we address all it. So that's today lesson will go through learning outcome 1, and the next lesson will go through learning outcome 2, which is be able to advise managing financial risk. Risk is mean probability at the chance of happening. So high probability, high risk. So it should be high return really. If you're bearing the high risk, you expect high return. So understand the management long-term finance, which will go through different sources of finance how we can. And appraisal methods, capital budgeting. These we have investment appraisals, NPV, net present value, balance scorecard, which is given by Nathan and Kaplan, one of the authors. So don't need to be look around just financial perspective. You have to look around all other financial and non-financial perspective, shareholder wealth maximization. So these are the indicative contents. Overall, our discussion will be, all that discussion and all the key points in our discussion. So next, LO2, which we'll go through in lesson 2. In lesson 3, we'll go through LO3 and all the key points you've been given in this indicative content. So we'll start. Okay, so LO1, first is evaluate the actual business performance. Again, the budgeted target, which we look in a minute, and we look, key indicative contents accordingly, and then so as we have apply investment appraisal method and measure the performance, and these extra slide I'll send you as well after it. And today we'll go through the more theoretical discussion, but we'll do a lot of practical examples. So please, if you want to, if you've never done before, you can log in on Open Tuition. Hope you can see the slide and the resources Open Tuition, and look FM. FM is called financial management. So please, I'll share with you this booklet as well. If you want further extra resources, you can download financial management, and this is the booklet, all the lectures and the notes. And any particular, like you're looking, the topic we are discussing, and you want to look around more numerical side of it. Of course, this is assignment based course. It's not any exam really. So you will see the chapters, and when you click those chapters, you can watch the lecture, each chapter separately as well. So those are quite good to use, these resources in bad data. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, so be able to apply the investment appraisal methods and these, for assessment criteria. So investment paid now and financial return in future. How do companies invest in, and which project they want to invest in, why they want to invest in, and what is the value of the investment, all will be in. Capital budgeting is, when we say capital budgeting, mean, purchasing the asset, investing in assets. So like a couple of you learn about the capital expenditures and revenue. So capital expenditures mean investment in assets. So these are capital investment involve purchasing asset now in return for the future benefit, and we can look around the future profitability of the company is depend on the management ability to choose the best investment from those available. So it's referred to the capital budgeting. We can look around the stage in. So determine the investment funds available, identify the profit project opportunities, look, refine and classify the proposed project. So if you have a project A, project B, you want to invest in construction sector, you want to invest in IT sector, you want to invest. So you have to look around what will be appraised, which one give you more return, which is one is a less risk, which one is a payback period is a shorter is the better, which will go through each, appraisal method. Stage, evaluate the proposed project. We can look around, approve the project and monitor the and control the performance of the project. Investment appraisal creation phase, identify the objective, what you want to achieve, objective mean end result, why we're doing this. Search for the investment opportunity, list the possible outcome, measure the payoff, and select the investment project. Obtain, authorization and implement project, review the capital investment decision. That is quite. We can look around the investment appraisal method, discounted cash flow method. We can non-discounted cash flow. So NPV, what is NPV? Net present value. When NPV is the positive, we accept the project. When NPV is the negative, we reject the project. Okay, so always keep in mind, if the real value of money is greater than the inflation and other cost, then you can say my net value is better, I accept the project. IER is internal rate of return between two NPVs, two net present value, and we call internal rate of return, which we'll go through by using the formula, then we'll calculate. ARR, which is called accounting rate of return, also is a good percentage. If you're 10% rate of return, 20%. So if project one to give you 10, other give you 20, so you prefer 20 is better than 10. So that's, the payback period. If shorter is a better, because those industries, if you take you longer to get the money and recover the money, it's take you uh, it's a high risk. So accounting rate of return, average net income asset is expected to be generate, divided by the average capital cost expressed as the annual percentage. And we can look around, include the situation where the companies are deciding on whether or not propose the specific investment of the project or acquisition based on the future net earning and expected compared to the capital cost. So highest ARR is the better. So that's which we can the formula is, please, estimated average and annual profit divided by estimated investment. So we can look around average investment capital cost plus residual value divided by 2. We can say it average. Okay, so in terms of the decision making, ARR is equal to the greater than the required rate of return and the project, which we need to be. So like I mentioned, project A, project B, if the project A give you 10 and project B give you 20, so you go for 20, not 10. And relatively simple links to the other business measures. Each appraisal method have its own pros and cons, so it's not everything is a perfect in the real world, but you have to look around some estimate. Sometimes estimate is 100, can't be 100% accurate. It's very real world, it's not really 100% happen, but it's quite good to be you have some estimation, some your work really. Disadvantage based on the profit, not cash flow. So when we say profit is based on the credit sales as well. Even you not receive like DFS sofas in UK, you buy now and pay in 5 years. So we can say is my profit, my average profit this. It's not mean you're getting the cash. If you can increase, it depends on your credit control policy as well. It's a huge impact. Ignore the length of the project of the value of money. So payback period, as the word indicates, how quick you get. Quicker is a better. The time, it's not looking what will be the value. If for £10 today, but it's a 20% inflation. So what's the point? What you getting it? What's the real value? Is money drop? So we need to be look around in terms of various countries. The value of currency is dropping a lot. due to the poor policies of the government. So we have to look around, these, we have to appraise it in those countries, really we want to invest it or not in as a financial analyst, without as a as a good investor point of view. So we can look around the time taken from the initial investment to return and equate, initial. We can look around the payback period is easy relatively and better to understand. And they ignore the time factor, ignore the value of money. Then we have a net investment appraisal method is very popular, net present value method, which we'll go through some numericals in the next lesson, and we relate back to, which is quite good too. Which we can look around the business investment, security, capital, new ventures, reductions in, and we can look around and we want to please. There are number of formulas in different books, different symbols. Doesn't matter whichever you use. Is couple of you already learned this a lot, So we can look around NPV, which is the net present value. It's XYZ. It can be 3 project, whatever you have. So we can say EO1. So if it's a £1 today and we say 10% depreciate, 1 divided by 1 plus R. Yes, 1 plus R is mean rate of R, we call discount factor. So we can use the PV table, is called present value table, or we can use the discount factor itself, and which we'll go through in next lesson. Really will focus, more numerical side. So today we'll discuss theoretical. Okay, so in investment appraisal, consider the time value of money, absolute measure of return based on the cash flows, consider the whole life of the project, limitation, difficult to explain sometimes, value of money. What is meant by this, it's estimate really the real value, because the real value, maybe we're not looking in terms of the foreign exchange, we're looking in terms of the local currency. So project NPV is a positive, which should be accepted. If it's a negative, it should be rejected. If the completing project have the positive, NPV, that's one has the highest NPV. So we'll go the highest NPV. Okay, if the net present value or your answers will come positive, you accept the project. Okay, so IAR is the internal rate of return that make net present value of the project 0. In other words, it's an expected compounded annual rate of return that will earn on the project investment compound interest. Yeah, that's £1.10 investing, carry on investing. So that's increase the value. So this is called the compound interest, and the compound interest is which will carry on doing it, and it's quite crucial. We can look around the cash flows, and we'll carry on looking. So internal rate of return, these are all the formulas we can use it. We will go through further. So just remember 2 things in NIRR, internal rate of return. You need 1 positive NPV, 1 negative NPV, as we discuss in NPV, net present value. You need 1 positive, 1 negative NPV. So if you increase the discount factor 10%, we say depreciate, we can say 20% discount factor. So this is our, and then we use the formulas to put the value. Then we can say what is IIR. If the project A IIR is greater than the project B, so we'll go A instead of B. Yes, so that's the way we can calculate, and we'll go through our calculations of numerical. Okay, consider the time value of money, percentage of therefore easily understood. Use the cash flow, not the profit, and consider the whole life of the project. IAR, yes, it's shareholder required return, and some of the limitation, not an absolute measure of the profitability. Interpolation is only estimate, and fairly it can be complicated sometime, which we can't really 100% explain. Okay, so assessing the performance, balance scorecard, Malu, popular, combining the non-financial performance measure financial data designed to be comprehensive, linked to the company's strategies and objective, and limit the number of the performance measure which can be assessed at the given focus, and can see the cause and effect of the performance. And we can look around Norton Kaplan. So please, if you want to look around this model, which is called yes, anything really, if you want investment appraisal, yes, and next to that, if you want to look around and type the word Kaplan, which couple of those attended lessons with me, I always refer these resources. It's called investment appraisal, uh, and that's the Kaplan resources. So you will see there a lot of discussion on time value of money. Then if you want further go through different investment appraisal methods like discounted cash flows, you can pick the example. You've been given a lot of examples here. Cash flow, yes, time value of money. So please, yes, so the IAR all been, so if you want to pick any example for your assignment purposes, we look at some numerical in. Okay, so if you want next model, which we are looking, balance scorecard. Balance scorecard model is by Nathan and Kaplan, which is one of the authors. If you just, it's luckily authors and the book key, the publisher is the same surname is the Norton Kaplan, but the Norton Kaplan was the actual author of this model, and Kaplan is the publisher of the books. So you will see there what is the performance management is a balance scorecard. So like we're not using the Nokia. Nokia's focus on the financial perspective, the growth, Benny Research and Development Center to reduce the cost. What immediate impact happen in not innovation happen, learning happen, ultimately in the organization, in the industry organization not sustain. So that's why sustainability point of view is quite crucial. You have to understand what impact will be on all. So you've been given the customer perspective, lower cost customer want, internal perspective, employee satisfaction is very important. Innovation perspective implies satisfaction, innovation, internal financial perspective. We want ROC, return on capital employed. We can look around quarterly sales is all very important. And these are, please, you've been given a lot of examples, these different perspective, how we can map them and what strategies we can make it. Yes, that's, quite good to look around. So in this, the assessing the performance, we can look around financial perspective and various perspectives. So, sorry. So this model is very popular. So when we're looking the financial objective, measure target analytics, internal perspective objective, we can look around learning perspective and all, and then we can assess the performance. So we're looking at the financial perspective, measure ROE, look the per, let's say if you're looking airline, so look the cost per flight. Internal perspective, look around, they improve the turnaround time, look around the aggressive time on the ground between the flights, and look around the minimize the delays. Yes, that's customer perspective, average price per flight compared to the industries what we have. The learning perspective, look around, improve the safety training, ensure the workforce in the satisfaction. That's all we need to be assessing the performance. Really, we have to end of the day your objective of all shareholder wealth maximization. So shareholders value go up by good positive image of the company, gaining the project you take, or invest, that will bring, goodwill of the companies increase. Like if you're investing or using the electric solar panels and all these, ultimately what is happening, you're contributing towards the CO2. Ultimately, good image of the company will bring more financial perspective for you as well. So it's quite linked financial and non. So shareholder wealth maximization, the creating and managing the earning for the shares, share prices, share values should go up, image of the company, look around the strategy management, shareholders, reward compensation. So these we need to be the ultimately when you do these, the follow the steps is bring, the increase the value of the shares and ultimately shareholder wealth maximization. Assessing the performance, which we can look around economics, value added, EVP, the financial measurement return of the company, excess amount of the asset need to be fulfilled, the expectation of the shareholders. We can look around the EVA, which we can look around rate of return, investment with the with the opportunity cost. That we need to be look around. Please, if you have any question in the, feel free, you can ask. Okay, any question if you have? Yes.
Hello, sir.
Sorry. Yes, any question?
Yes, sir. I have one question because when you do the ARR, accounting rate of return, we
Yes.
need to measurement first the required rate of return, right?
Uh,
Because we are comparing with the required rate of return with IRR return.
no,
So first we have to measure the required rate of return of the project.
when we're looking IRR, you need two
Yes,
NPVs, one positive, one negative. Yes.
yes,
Then we can put in the formula higher IR, the difference between the lower IR, look the and the discount factor like 10 and 20%. Yes. And
yes,
then we can look around if the project A is a higher IAR as a percentage compared to the project B. So which one is a higher internal rate of return? You can accept it, otherwise you reject it.
yes, yes. This is for the IRR,
IRR.
internal, yeah, internal rate of return.
Yes. When you're looking ARR,
But I am talking about the required rate of return,
which one?
not IRR, not required rate of return, required rate.
Or required rate.
Yes, required rate of return before because required with the ARR or IRR should be compared with the required rate of return. So how I understand, how I calculate the project required rate of return?
Yeah. So required rate of return is your requirement as an industry. You want more than 10%, let's say. Yes.
Yeah, but I can calculate it as the market wise or
Or you can do
just
you
say
can
that
do
if my
you,
company project is I need to invest that much money and I need to recover rate of return is 25%.
yes, you can
So that
always
is the that
base
that
it
is the
can
bulk.
be.
That means I just assumption it or I can calculate it.
No, you can find it industry average rate. Like, some people say in the food industry, when you invest, you expect, let's say 40% return, 400% return, huh? Because it's a
Yeah,
high
yeah,
return. So you can say,
yeah,
I expect in this industry, this is my average return. Yes. What this
yeah,
project particular will give me above than the average or less than the average. Yes.
yeah. For the industry perspective, right?
Yes, industry prospect. Because
Okay, understand. That means
otherwise,
it is the
otherwise,
it is the market assumption.
yeah. So market exemption. You're absolutely right. Because otherwise it's very difficult. Because always the forecasting. Huh? So
Yes, okay, okay.
so
Understand.
you can
But
you
I can but I can calculate the required rate of return as I know.
yes, yes,
I do some with some one company. I once mentioned the required rate of return. I
yeah,
also do that one.
yes, which is fine. I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
different
Okay,
different in different in a list, you different tool. End of the day, what you using it, what your objective, you are achieving those objective is fine.
yes, yes. That is the
Yeah,
correct. Yes.
which is absolutely fine. No harm. So EVP, yes, economics value. We can look around. We can look around these. Uh, negative, positive outcome. Because end of the day, you're looking not only the financial perspective, you're looking always in the other perspective as well. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
then we can look around the weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital means, you have a debt and equity financing. What is the average cost of? It is the impact on the profit, its increase and decrease. Huh? So that's all we
yes,
can compare as well. So like weighted average is 8.22, 8.28, 8.37. So weighted average cost of capital is higher here, 8.377 in 20x6 as an example. Yeah, we have finance.
yeah.
Ultimately, really, we want to increase it. What is the economics value as a company has the impact? Yes. So after that, the net profit is being added as economics value. So you will see if the cost is going up, and that's the negative impact. So no point to do it. Yes. So that's really we
Yes,
need.
if it's negative, no need to do it. Yes.
So we can say this is not better than this. Huh? Okay, then
Yeah.
1.2 is evaluate and justify this investment strategy. So when you make strategy or the action plan, you want to think about land, labor, building you want to invest or any other asset you want to invest every. So it will always look around debt from the financial institution, equity or debt, or angels, business angels, or the market. Always when you're looking, please keep in mind what are the tax incentive you have. Like if you have a equity financing, equity mean is the share, and the debt mean any interest you pay on the debt is a non-taxable expense. Yes, you
Yes.
don't have to
So
pay tax. It's
most
same.
of the companies prefer the debt
Yes,
nowadays.
but if you issue the shares too, because the dividend you pay after the tax, so it means you're reducing the tax elements. Yeah, so
Yes.
it costs you more, you know. So according to various, you know, Miller, Maliani, and various other authors we have, different. It's better to be you use more debt and less equity. But always look around the gearing as well. A high gear is can be high risk. If you can't afford it, you have a commitment, legal obligation. You have to by law pay it. Yeah. So we
Yes.
always need to be look around overall, reduce the cost and bring the economics benefit to the company. Yes. So always be looking the financial and non-financial perspective, real value of asset, and always keep in mind what will be scrap and other values, economics value will bring. Yeah. So key consideration recommendation, investment appraisal approach should be used, calculation return, always look around whichever is best. Doesn't matter you use payback, always good to be used 2, 3 and see under three method which project is coming better for you. Yes, if every project is coming payback period is less, NPV is a positive, IIR is a higher, go for it. Yes, because
Yes.
and always look the current economic situation, political, economic, social, technological. Maybe these are you looking, you estimating, but looking the non-financial factors as well. That's also impact huge. You know. So we can look around investment appraisal, capital, and always look around do the research and development. Always look around which one is the best for you. Yes, is a foreign market when you do always look around the hedging currency fluctuation as well. Key consideration recommendation always, you know, the weighted average cost of capital, keep in mind. Appraise your project in terms of risk. Risk is mean probability, high risk, you expect high return. If no high return, like in the technology, is a high risk, but is a low payback period and quick return. Yes, if the technology is successful. But if you're investing in oil discovery takes longer, like BPP and all other shell shares. So we can look around that, but it can be give return good number of years. Yes, of course, nowadays technology is moving. The oil is we not using just oil, which we moving towards electric cars. But still, is the return, you know, we can look around these all the factors, and then you can decide, you know, tax implications. Always look legislation and the tax, you know, the profit what we have, you know, always keep in mind as well, key consideration. So other we can look around the corporate culture, think globally at the act locally if the company is following that culture, looking around child labor abuse and all the tackling these problems, corporate and non-financial factor they keep, ultimately the goodwill of the company will go up, ultimately help, you know, the good image of the company and bring more financial and non-financial can be contextualized, linked to each other. Consider human capital, very important industry trend. And then 1.3, which we have critical success factors, CSF. Every industry have some CSF, you know. So critical success factor is very important. You have to be look around like we seen in the Kaplan Norton, like, you know, which we just mentioned, critical. Like in the hotel industry, critical thing does not mean you have a big hotel, you have loans, everything. But if your food is not good, if the customer service is not good, people say, come on, it's a 7 star, but the service is very, very
Yes.
bad.
One is.
So ultimately, we not really going to. That's a very critical part in the especially hospitality industries are. Yes, so we always look around the critical success factor and making the strategies to work it, appraise it, you know, all this as well. If they are using new technology, booking system, tracking system, easy looking, you know, keep it short and simple where the customer as the users, then of course ultimately bring, you know, critical success factor, vehicle style, fuel efficiency, compliant with the environment. It can be example, computer industry, it can be innovation, qualities, user acceptance. Yes, food industry, effectiveness, advertising, efficiency in the product distribution, product innovation capacity, training companies is recognize the instructor competency, quality, size. So your recruitment of the individual who has the industry experience is very important, bringing the examples and giving the knowledge about. So CSF is critical success investment decision pre-planning. Please, you have all the research, all the facts and figures. Yes. Consideration managers, senior leadership style, risk making, risk taking. Yes. So risk is mean probability of happening something. Always look around these, it's very important. So those we need to be look around in our consideration, risk planning, risk mitigate, and then you have to company should put in the processes in analytics, identify the risk, product life cycle. Yes, all these, some products short life cycle and some big, so there are the risks can be attached with it. Resource planning is very important. Plan where you are, where you want to. Cross-functional team management, look around the contract, relation with the contractor, you need to plan, look around operational, depends, nature of the project, risk planning. So you have to be risk registered, you prioritize the risk, you have Tara and Sara approach, which is transfer the risk, avoid the risk, respond the risk. If you don't do the business, there is no risk. We use the risk factor, we use the beta, higher the beta, we expect the higher the return. What is the beta? Beta is the risk factor. Yes. So if you have a high the beta, it means high the risk, and ultimately we expect the higher the return. So asset integrity planning, we can look around the stakeholders management. Right? That's also we need to be look around the chemical company, refined utilities, failure implement asset integration can be consequences of running extreme, that injuries, yes, production losses, yes, plant outrage, environmental cleanup costs, stakeholders management. What is a stakeholder? Because old concept is shareholder wealth maximize. The stakeholders mean anyone who has any interest, in the business is a stake. Stake, somebody looking towards you, like special, I quote the example. Oh, you're saying, why are you looking towards me? What stake you have, in me? So these are called stakeholders, interests, so you can look around the supplier interest, you look implies interest, you look the government interest, and try to give balanced approach. So, is the mapping document stakeholders interest and your project, what the project will bring, so that's for the stakeholders. So project execution, which is quite, project monitoring and management cost and schedule is very important, need to be look around. Timeline of the project, how long will it take you to complete. Change management, yes, there are different chain management. You look around, unfreeze yourself, the situation, change and refreeze it. We have to accept it. Technologies play the key role. AI, artificial intelligence, blockchain. Yes, augmented reality is all. You have to change if the project or the investment you looking these and bring the huge benefit to the companies, ultimately help reduce the risk. Okay, then we have 1.4, apply capital asset pricing. Any question until you have, please always ask. So there is capital asset pricing model and weighted average cost of capital. So we can look around these two models that also be useful to look around the rate of return the organization must pay to satisfy the provider funding, and also reflecting on the risk providing funds, the cost of the funds, and the cost of capital, equity investor, debt investor, as we said earlier. Discounted rate, we use the real value of the money. Yes, what we have, NPV expected, and how much is cost, average weighted cost of capital, average, yes, what is the cost of capital, what will be the real value of the money. Also keep in mind, we're looking the cost of capital in term of profit and loss, but what will be happen the value of money as well. If even you get the return, the value of money is dropped, it's also lost, you have to bring it and look around the average capital. So we can look around the cost of capital, how much we have. We can look around the cost of equity, what K and the cost. There is a dividend evaluation, what impact on the dividend, the dividend growth model, dividend capital asset pricing model. That's also because, ultimately the dividend evaluation model, K is the cost of equity, D is the dividend, and P naught is the price of the shares. So what is happening, that's, which we can find, from, normally it's a given in the financial statement, but you can find it in the, if you go on the Yahoo Finance, been given normally the price of the share. So key is the cost of equity, D is the dividend, and P naught is the price of the share. Cost of equity, P0 is equal to D1 plus G, K minus G. G is represent the growth rate. So we do current dividend per share. So you've been given the abbreviation. So basically, there are the good few formulas which we can use it, and we'll go through some examples. So the share price of KL PLC is 100p per share. We have the dividend price per share is 10, and there is expecting 8% growth. Is mean 8%. We are expecting this will grow. So 10 is at the moment. KE is the cost of equity. If we have 10p is the dividend per share, 8% is growing, so is 1.08, which is mean adding 8% in it. This means it goes 0.08 divided by 100, because everything is 100, yes. And this overall growth is, when we say 8 pence or 8%, is overall you growing from 10 to 18.6. So that's, which we can say the cost of equity is now is 18.8%. Yes, so we can look around the growth by, and we can look around the cost. Yes, the growth rate can be difficult to determine, but some estimation we can use it. Okay, there are the cost of equity. So there is a formula which we can use it. What is the risk-free rate? What is the beta? Beta is mean the risk factor. Higher the beta. What is the return market rate, and what is the risk-free rate? So these formulas we can use it, and we can put the figures, and ultimately we calculate and we can compare. There are two types of the risk. One is called systematic risk, unsystematic. What are the systematic, unsystematic risk? Can be diversify away from the portfolio. Portfolio mean like, different assets you have investment, or different shares, are different companies of the shares you have. That can be portfolio. So shareholders should be interested in the systematic risk, which cannot be diversified. Yes, and beta is the determine the revenue and the cost sensitive, variation in the market return.
ক্লাস করতেছি, পরে কল দিই, ক্লাস করতেছি।
And expected return for the equity is E, and the beta is the risk factor. So we can use it if the beta is equal to 1, then the systematic risk of the share is risk of the stock as a whole. If the greater than is a systematic risk is a greater than the risk of the market as a whole. Aggressive shares have the beta greater than 1 or less than 1. So we can look around the beta factors and the premium of the market. If the higher the risk, you should pay, you should expect, higher the return as well. So debt to equity, which we bank loan, is the KD, the debt, cost of debt. Yes, so we can, if the company borrow 1 million, the rate of return is 10%, then interest payment will be, yes, so always we can calculate. If the corporation tax is 33%, the saving on the tax, how much will be? 33,000. Yeah, so that's, we can look around the tax cost. And that, the interest payment thereafter, and after the tax, 67% the cost of the debt. So we can look around is defined as KDRT minus TT is the tax. We can putting by using overall formula for the weighted average cost of capital. V, the value of equity divided by value of equity plus value of debt. K is the cost of equity plus value of debt divided by value of equity plus value of debt. KD is the cost of debt 1 minus T, because with the debt it can be tax saving. So that is also we can keep in mind, and we can put the values and we can calculate, which we look, more numerical in the next lesson. And the weightage of capital is quite good. You've been given here is the obtaining 1/2 of its 1,000 million of the capital from the lenders, and we required 8% rate of return from the investment. This is risk loss, 1/2 of the share who is 12% rate, KD is 8 and K is 12. So weightage of the debt is BD plus BE. So if you need to calculate, so you can calculate, yes. So you 500 million divided by 1 billion times. So it's been given the facts and figures, and then we can say what is the cost of equity, what is the cost of debt. Both is the 5%, 5%. So is how much worth of you have debt, how much is and the expected rate of return, cost of, cost of equity, cost of debt. What is that weightage average? Weightage means average, not just, so weightage average can be vary. So that's which we can look around, and then of course we can multiply. So what will be average overall cost? So that's is coming 10%. So that's the way we can calculate, and which will go through some question numerical. We'll pick through full question. So in between, if you want to look around, please, it's quite good to you can look around these investment appraisal chapters, and you can, yes, we discuss discounted cash flows, budget, yes, and then of course we can look around valuation of equity, valuation of debt. That's which we discuss just now, and that's all from my end. Any question?
I think, sir, previous in the module, the previous LO1 and this LO1 is different, sir. I think you add some slides,
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So when I will be get this one after the class?
Yes, I can share with you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So this is the, I'm not sure do you have access on Moodle this one, no?
Yeah. I have access to Root, but I take the previous one. I think the May you are taking the class. That's one. Yeah. May, but I don't think so. This is the update one.
Oh yes, because a lot of material carry on changing, but if we are embedding those slides, huh?
Okay.
So
No.
I'll send you these ones, extra ones here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So which is we included some bit and pieces.
Yeah. Because before a slide, I'm doing that. I'm already writing the assignment.
Oh, good.
But there is before the slide, what you were discussed with that slide. I am writing my assignment in context of that one. So there is this beta there,
No
the
problem.
little bit short,
In
and
terms of
also
assignment, in terms of assignments, that's not an issue, right?
yeah, I know. But the detailed conversation, so details writing, because assignment, if you write the things, it will be more because you are teaching something. It will be more. You cannot excuse the lot of things.
Yeah. I mean,
That
yeah,
that is the
that's in the unit specifications, and then
mm,
after we can look around according to the unit specifications. Huh?
yeah. Okay, I'm trying.
Because any unit specification update, the ultimately can be impacted. That's which we need. Okay, yes, that's we delivered back in May, and we're delivering again now. Okay, so
Okay, sir. Okay.
further I'll so in between you have the booklet. I can send you Kaplan and BPP and yeah, plenty of financial management resource. Or you can download from Open Tuition and look around. Huh? You can pick
I know. Yeah.
pick it to meet the criteria. Okay, so that's all from my end, guys. Today we discuss about NPV, net present value method. If NPV is a positive, we accept. If NPV negative, reject. Payback period is a shorter is a better. IAR, internal rate of return, is a higher is a better. ARR is the average rate of return is a higher is a better. And weighted average cost of capital, which we can look around, is lower is yes. Average cost lower is the better. And we can use it, the dividend growth, is a high and low. And otherwise, also it's good to be adding in your discussion Kaplan Norton balance scorecard model and critical success factors as we discussed in our lesson. Thanks for attending. Have a lovely weekend, and I will speak you during our next lesson when we'll go through our new LO,
Thank you, sir.
LO2. So please, before lesson, if you can look around LO2 and the indicative content, it's good to be at least, we know what the key words really, buzzwords could are will be in our lesson, so that's we can do a bit, little. Oh, I can make it. Oh, what is this meant by? What is this meant by? Yes. So when we'll go through,
Yes,
you have a chance to ask the question, and we can further clarify, enhance, our understanding about these terminology. Thanks for attending. Have a lovely weekend and enjoy. And speak you to our next lesson. Thank you.
thank you, sir.